For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
What up, what up, what up, what it do, what it do, what it do. Oh, you know what, that's why I couldn't do it. Guess what it is? Today is the 1st of December, 2021, so we almost resolutions for what y'all gonna do differently next year that y'all couldn't start today. But I'm gonna let y'all ride with that. How y'all doing? Anybody had birthdays, holidays, whatever, when y'all jump in, just chime in and let me know what's going on. Um, we're gonna do. I think I got 3 more shows before the end of the year, maybe 2. And all that's really gonna happen is, what's up, Georgia Jones? Come to the Random Thoughts with DVP page. I ain't gonna do nothing really controversial. I got some stuff waiting for next year that I'm gonna just we're gonna jump in strong with it. I'm gonna get your minds going. We're gonna take on some uncomfortable conversations and all of that. All of that. All right. What up, Daryl? Come to the Random Thoughts with DVP, bro. Come join the conversation. We're gonna try something new for today's show. Just type in Random Thoughts with DVP and join the live. Uh, what's up, Tanetta? You know you on the wrong page. Come to Random Thoughts with DVP. As a matter of fact, starting next year, I'm gonna do less and less of the show on my personal pages because I need for y'all to come to my show page. That way I can get Facebook to try to work with me on getting me a little cheddar. Uh, but like I said, it's the 1st of December. I got a couple of things that we're gonna just talk about. Unless y'all got something y'all want me to talk about. Make sure y'all having a happy holidays and whatever it is you celebrate, do your thing, and just be respectful of others. Everybody don't do Christmas. Everybody don't do Hanukkah. Everybody don't do Kwanzaa. Everybody got their own different beliefs. So just be generic and say happy holidays unless you know the people specifically. And let's not clown people for their beliefs. If it ain't affecting your mortgage or your light bills, let them do whatever. Let them do whatever it is they do. If they don't want to do nothing, let them do that too. Ain't nothing wrong with people being different. All right. So, Tonetta, Random Thought page, not Darren to Darren. Random Thoughts with DVP. It's been a pretty good year, all things considered. I saw a post asking somebody, who's like, what have you done for this year? And somebody appropriately said, for people who have made it through this year and last year, that's an accomplishment unto itself. Stop demanding so much for just general stuff. What's going on, Tina B? Just be happy that you made it. It ain't always about. Some days you're just not gonna be productive. It ain't for lack of trying. It's just because some days you just need to chill and just enjoy life and stop trying to always accomplish something. Trying to keep up with that pace is gonna forever make you feel like you're failing because you can't even enjoy the good stuff you're doing because you're so busy trying to accomplish something else for somebody else who don't even matter. Good health is a great thing to celebrate. What up, Nick? What's up, Pete? What's happening with y'all, man? Happy holidays. Um, you know, I know Nick part of a law firm now, so he got good things going on. We're gonna have to talk about that, see if we can get you on the show to discuss some legal issues and get people to know what kind of law you're doing, what kind of the attorney you are. So, Nick, if you get a chance, shoot me inbox me your number so we can get you on the show and tell people what you're doing. Nick Nick is a guy I used to work with. I trained him. Um doing big things, doing big things. But y'all still need to come to the Random Thoughts with DVP page. Random Thoughts with DVP. There you go, Tanetta. Come there and join the live. That way I can get credit for it, See, this is how you can promote your brother for free. I just need some of your time. All right. So one of the first things I want to talk about is customer service. And I'm seeing a lot of people complaining about people who tip or don't tip, and they trying to shame people, and I really don't get it. And I don't think that I'm that off base. Uh, it's been a struggle financially for quite a few people. Jaja or Pobo, there you go. Inbox me your number, but come to the right page. Come to Random Thoughts with DVP. When you take these customer service jobs, and I'm of the firm belief that as opposed to increasing, what's up, Hobbs? As opposed to putting pressure on people to give tips, we should put pressure on businesses to pay a living wage. Nobody, in my mind, should have to go to work and depend on people to pay them extra. Tips are nice, but they are what they are. But in some countries, tipping is illegal because they don't want people getting preferential treatment over people who can't afford the tip. So the businesses pay a living wage. And I'm seeing a lot of people complain about people that will tip or won't tip, and to me that's kind of crazy. Um, it's a struggle for a lot of people. So if you doing DoorDash or Instacart, you got to come. You're on the wrong page. You got to come to the. You got to come to Random Thoughts with DVP, Pete. Um, and this is one of them things where people are struggling all over. You hear people talking about they having trouble paying rent, they having trouble doing this, and I'm gonna use Instacart for an example, because if I'm an elderly person, I'm living on fixed income, and I don't have a car, and I can get Instacart to bring groceries to my house, I don't have a lot of disposable income to tip you what you think I should have tipped you. Um, yeah, you doing me a service, but I'm doing you a service too. Because if I don't use Instacart, you can't get paid. Now, because I ain't never been there, you go. Hey, Roy, can you send Pete a link? He want to join the show. Can you send Pete a link so he can come on in with me and discuss something? Since I've been trying to get this brother on for 6, 7 months, and he just he keep treating me like a stepchild. But it's a whole different story, Pete.
D, have him email me or have him send his email in the messenger to us.
Hey, Pete. Roy say we doing with the customer service you got to realize that some of these people who need this, who need these services, they can't afford the tip, and you want 10, 20, 30%, and some places want to make you tip early. What's going on, old man? And you don't get nothing. I refuse to be a forced tipper. I refuse. And if you don't give me good service, I ain't tipping you just because. Oh man, people do. Hey, you volunteer for this job. It's a customer service job, and we're gonna just use being a server at a restaurant now.
D, my bad.
If you don't
Hold
like
on.
what you,
D, that was Pete Almeida
yeah,
that you were saying send the link to?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when you do this, this is what you chose to do, because I really don't get it. Firemen don't get tips. Plumbers don't get tips. Um, Doctors and dentists don't get tips. They provide a customer service. They you pick the job, you got a pay rate. Tips are the bonus. Tips are the bonus. Nobody owes it to you to tip. Nobody made you pick that job, and we gotta quit acting like it's due. It's not. People are struggling. Regular everyday people. So why do you think they owe you this money? You took a second job. Take a second job at Burger King. There's a Chick-fil-A. I think the Chick-fil-A up in Roswell is paying $21. Go there. It's getting to the point where we think everybody else's problem becomes our personal problem, or our personal problem becomes everybody else's problem. Mm. Take one of these warehouse jobs. Oh, I can only work this. Go work one of them. But don't sit back and think that somebody else has got to pay you, because the same car to go here to go there. They got to save their gas mileage. They got to save this. They got to save that. They got to save any way they can. So if getting somebody else to bring them their groceries and the company charges them a fee, that's all they can pay. That's all they can pay. Um, you we doing the customer service. No, you doing your job. You're not doing the customer service. You're doing your job. Your job title just happens to be customer service. But that doesn't automatically qualify you for a tip. Who tips the bus driver? He drove you to your location. Some of them take you a little bit further, closer to your stop, or they take you out of the pay out the water or something else just for your convenience. And all I want to say is stop whining. Stop whining. If your job ain't paying you enough, look into the mirror, look into the one ass, get you another job. Or accept what you chose. Choose better. You know, it's hard times for everybody. So I just wanted to get it out of the way, because I saw a lot of people fussing about it, and it's funny. I had one girl defriend me about it because I was telling her friend that she didn't deserve a tip just because she works somewhere. Now the girl who I was selling it to, she's still friends with me. The girl whose page is on, she got mad at me and told me I should just tip automatically. Player, that's your money, but you can't tell me what to do with my money. I ain't giving nobody no money just because they came to work. To me, that's akin to being stupid. It, it's super stupid, as a matter of fact. Um, I called my credit card company, and the guy act like I was bothering him. Dude, let me speak to somebody else, cause clearly I'm agitating you. I'm calling you for help, and you making it seem like I'm bothering you. Then he wanted to straighten up. Nah, player, I hear your excuse, but I heard the little tension in your voice. Just let me talk to somebody else. Who you telling to check the email, Roy? So yeah, that's not how this is gonna work. This is what I'm paying for a service. I shouldn't. This is your job, your chosen job. You know,
That
when
was
I
the
was a
peep.
cop, some people were nice, some people weren't. Even though they call 911, I'm like, hey, I'm here. I fix your problem. Can you gonna tip me? I ain't got nothing against barbers and beauticians, but I still feel the same way. If you gonna charge me $25 for a cut or a shave or whatever, I ain't getting why I'm paying your what you charging me. Plus, I should give you 10 to 20% more. And I hope Pete, where you at? Have you come yet? Because I really want some input on this. Why should I feel the need to tip you more if I just paid you for a service? Because let's just say, for shits and giggles, Pete said he don't see nothing in his email, Roy. Um, if I pay $25 for a haircut, what's the tip for? Because it ain't gonna take but 20 minutes to cut my hair. Let's just say 30. So for 30 minutes work, you got paid almost, $50 an hour. Why am I tipping you? Oh, because you gotta pay fees. But how is that my issue? I gotta pay bills. Don't nobody tip me when I do something. I'm just confused. So I wouldn't mind having some insight on that from somebody who works in customer service. Why? Whew, y'all know what this is. The blue. It's a little strong. Oh goodness. I don't understand why it is I should pay you. I know Roy said I'm gonna be a little slow hearing him, but Roy, do you tip your do you tip your barber, or do you tip, you know, yeah, do you tip your barber? Cops get free coffee. That's some places. Everybody don't get. They doing is paying you for being in the establishment and making them feel safe. So if you figure the cost of coffee is $8, $9 or whatever it is, but for the 10 to 15 minutes I have to sit there and wait on it, you got a good deal. So it ain't that they get it for free. They get it because they got to be in uniform. The techs don't get it for free. They got to be in uniform. So it's a slick way of getting free security. That's why a lot of places feed cops for free, because they figure as long as the cops there eating, the place is gonna be safe, which means they ain't got to hire security. So there's a glitch to it. What's going on? All right, what's going on, Antoinette? So yeah, I just want to know, do y'all feel the need to tip everybody regardless, or and we'll just stick with customer service people? Do y'all tip regardless? Because I was always taught to tip is based on service, not me owing, not me owing. I mean, when I used to have my grass cut, I didn't tip that guy. Took him an hour and a half to cut my grass, and what he charged me was, to me, it was a killing. Him buying a lawnmower, he would have bought that lawnmower whether I got him or not. The gas to run a lawnmower for an hour ain't that deep. So, you know, all these other little things that should be part of your business plan, and tips shouldn't be a part of your business plan, as far as I'm concerned. So, but my bad. Let me put this in there. Y'all caught me slipping. There go my man Pete. Hold on,
What up,
because guess
man?
what?
How
We
are
trying
you?
something new today. Y'all can actually call in and ask me questions. Let me give y'all this call in number so we can try this right quick and see how this is going to work. The number is 678 459-4236. All right. So let me get. I hey, he trying to get on my good side, but he been avoiding me. I've been trying to get him on the show for 6, 7 months. So even though he got on his
Yeah,
Patriot hat, I'm gonna
man,
let
you
him roll
know.
with that because y'all know the
Oh,
Patriots
you
are my
already
team.
know it, man.
So Pete, what's happening with you, bro?
How are you, man? How are you?
I'm
How are
good,
you?
man.
Doing good. We're doing well here. But hey, I got
Hold
somebody
on.
coming to the house
Let
shortly, so
Hold
I
on. Let me
gotta
just say one more thing, Pete.
yeah,
Let me say
please
one
do,
more thing.
please do.
Y'all see Pete got that black beard? That's the reason I don't want him on the show no more. You know what I'm saying? He probably take your hat off right quick, Pete. Do you got hair? Cause I'm hating. I'm
No, I
hating on you.
don't.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So I'm gonna let him slide with that. But until it turn pretty white, me and Pete, we just
Mm-mm.
we no, we ain't gonna be total friends, but we gonna be all right. Now go ahead. Tell me what's going on with you, sir.
Yeah, so I just make this quick just because it's so interesting that you would actually talk about this because it's something that I've had many conversations with ad nauseum. So here's the deal, like it's two sided. So just to give the viewers a backdrop, I have well over a decade and a half of experience in the service industry, and in all the times beside one time, I've always worked for tips. So every state runs differently, but let me tell you how it works in Mississippi. And it probably works like this in most states. When you work in the service industry, you get below minimum wage. Most people. Now there's always outliers, but most people, most places that I've worked here, you're gonna get 213 an hour, which is nothing. You cannot survive nor feed a family off 213 per hour. So therefore, we are completely dependent on the tips of our customers. Yes, we are providing a service, but on the flip side, that if you come out to my establishment and you're willing to spend money on a night out and then you don't take care of the people that take care of you. I'm not talking about shoddy service and all. I'm talking about A1 above board customer service. And you don't take care of people. Yeah, you lowball on us. I'd rather you stay home and not come out because personally, I take it as an affront and it's an insult. Secondly, if you're a man and you're out with a woman or a group of people and you do not tip, and you're not generous with your resources, that's like a slap in the face. That's like me and Tasha going out. I would never ever. We. I just tell you this, just for us personally, we at 25 and 30% and up every time we go somewhere because we know the people who are behind the scenes. Those people providing a service, not just the food, but also providing the experience. On the other hand, you are right, and I said this to many people the what is COVID has revealed, DP is this. COVID has revealed that the system is messed up. And the reason why the system is messed up, somebody's calling in. Sounds like the
Oh
reason
yeah.
why the
I think Roy
system is
gonna get
messed
it
up.
first.
Yeah, the reason why the system is messed up is this. The system is messed up because COVID has revealed that many of these people, including myself, are not being paid a minimum wage, a livable wage. You cannot survive off the generosity of people. You can't survive off of tips. And so many people chose not to come back from COVID. First of all, not because they're not lazy. Yeah, of course, you have some people that are lazy. They just don't want to work. We know that. But I'm telling you, it's because number one, not only are they underpaid, number two, every time they walk in that door, they're putting their health and safety at risk. Okay. So, yes, we do have to overhaul the system. The system is broken. It must be repaired. It must be overhauled. You cannot pay people 213 an hour or $3 an hour and expect people to, provide great service. So yeah, if you go out somewhere, yeah, I'm expecting you to take care of me because that's the way I survive. That's the way I take care of my bills and take care of my family and take care of my car note and my house note. Like I tell people all the time, comments are nice and good gestures are nice and I had a great time is good and you were a good server, whatever. Those are all good, but they don't pay no bills. So if you're going to an establishment and you know you're not able to take care of the service people, I'm just telling y'all this, please stay home. Like it's just me now. I'm just telling you what I would do, and I've done it before. If people lowball me, I will go outside and give them their money back and say I'd rather you leave me zero than give me some crumbs because my service, my time, my energy, my commitment to your experience is much more than the crumbs you're throwing at me. It's an assault. It's an affront, and I don't appreciate it. And let me.
You ain't finna go nowhere. You gonna stay with me for a few minutes?
Say once again.
You gonna stay with me for a few minutes?
Yeah. So let me just say this last thing.
No, Roy, you want to take a break, then come back? Because I want to ask Pete some questions. You want to take a break, Roy, and then come back?
Well,
and
your
then
caller is on first, so they're on now.
Okay, caller, welcome to Round the Thoughts with DVP. What's your name? And where you calling from?
This is Antoinette, and I'm calling from Durham, North Carolina.
What's up, Antoinette from Durham? Hey, you know, I got a beef with some people in North Carolina. But go ahead, Antoinette. What you got?
Well, I got a beef with some people in North Carolina too, so we need to get together and make it happen.
Oh man, okay.
Hey, Pete is a hitman on the side, and as long as you tip good, Pete got you.
No, I ain't no hitman.
I can, and I do tip. I don't go out unless I have sufficient funds to buy what I want and tip.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing.
Period. And I don't date people a second date who make a hullabaloo out of service that they receive at restaurants, because they're implying that there's not enough good service for that particular person. No matter how good you are to them, sometimes, you know, that they just cannot be satisfied. So if I am dating and you act a fool in the restaurant about the service that you get, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, there's a time and place for everything. Sometimes you just have to put the pen to the paper to write the establishment. Sometimes you just have to call the manager. But don't insult my server. She's handling my food, and she's handling the people food around me. So I don't want to see Brother Joe across the way dropping dead because the service pissed off at something that you did.
So even if she get crappy service,
stuff to say too.
Okay, well, you Antoinette, can you hold on for a minute while we do a commercial?
Sure.
Okay, let's do this commercial and come back. While I got Antoinette and Pete here.
Okay, we're gonna do that. Antoinette, you might not be able to hear us, but stay on. We're not going anywhere.
Cool.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember. They can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin. Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody.
Sorry.
Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent, you can use less, so it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together
Y'all need to come
we
to
can
Random
be
Thoughts
the
with
change.
DVP. All right, we back, and I got my partner Pete here with his Patriot hat on, you know, trying to show out. I got Antoinette talking about she ain't gonna go out me if I don't just randomly tip. So before I get to Pete, Antoinette, I want to make sure I'm understanding you. So even if the service ain't good, you expect your date to leave a good tip and just write a bad comment? Did I get that right?
No, you did not get that right.
Okay.
Typically, the servers typically the servers do provide good service. They serve you. If you go out, you are looking to be served. Now, whether they provide you extra information about what's available, whether they give you certain information about what goes together and make recommendations of what to have, it depends on their knowledge based on their industry. So if you're going out to a steakhouse and they're telling you, oh my God, this is the best, I had this is awesome, and you get it and it is awesome, or if you get it and maybe you like it or not, and so, I'll throw you a dessert since you don't like it, since it wasn't good to you, since you didn't like it based on my recommendation, I'll slide you a dessert and not charge you. That would be considered good service. You didn't like your meal, you didn't like the recommendation, but she made it up to you. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's Absolutely. What I'm talking about when I say service. That server is still providing you good service because she's making sure that the experience that you have is a good experience. That's her job.
I'm with you. And my example is more so like when me and my wife go out to eat, our glass stay empty for 5-10 minutes, and especially when it ain't but 4 or 5 customers. Now, if the place is packed, I've been to packed restaurants. I don't expect to be waited on hand and foot.
Well, it depends on what you call hand and foot. Now knowing what's on the menu and knowing what the special is.
Antoinette, I shouldn't be thirsty. I shouldn't be thirsty for 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh, you want her to fetch and skip?
So what?
You want her to fetch and skip?
Antoinette, if it ain't but 5 couples, if it ain't but 5 tables she waiting on, and I got, again, she want to be tipped for service. 5 minutes without water is a long time because all she doing is walking back. All she got to do is fill it up. See?
Now, let me just ask you this. Now, are you more focused on the fact that your glass is empty, or are you more focused on the fact that you need something to quench your thirst?
No, I'm more focused on her ratio of time that she's giving me based on what she got. See, I
want to make sure we're talking about the same thing, because I understand that when you pay someone to provide you a service, some people are just satisfied just being waited on, like me. I'm just happy that you're here to help, okay? But if you want the cup full, if you want her to come when you snap, if you want her to, if you drop your napkin, her to race across the room to pick it up off the floor or give you another one immediately as if you were the only one in the room, then that might be asking a bit much.
But
and considering the fact that she's making $2 an hour.
Okay, but I ain't said nothing that sound like that. Antoinette, for my glass to stay empty for 5 to 10 minutes, that's a long time if it ain't but 5 people. The place ain't that big. It don't matter. If she want to be paid for customer service.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because, listen, let me ask you this.
Antoinette,
okay.
You want to let me answer any question first, Antoinette? So you ask me, then you'll keep cutting me off. I let you ask me.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead.
So you said you were easy. If you want my money, then I need something that's above average, or you're gonna get a tip.
That's
which is your job. Then I don't have time to over tip you with my money. See, it ain't got nothing to do with whether I'm thirsty. I expect for 10 minutes not to go by and don't nobody say nothing to me. See, that means you're ignoring me. Again, I made the exception. If it's crowded, I don't expect the same thing. But if it's 5 couples, 5 tables you waiting on, there is no reason. This is your job. And if you do have to, come back when you say something. Say, hey, we had something. But let me know what's going on. You want my money. I'm under no obligation, none, for your bad business choice, and then you upset about being at work because your foot hurt, because this, because that. You still want my money. Like, I'm paying for something. Guess what? I want my food cooked. I'm paying for this. Now, if I go somewhere and they will give me a free meal, I ain't got the right to say nothing. But I'm paying. What am I paying for? I'm paying for a service. They ain't gonna take a little bit. They won't. If the steak costs $35, they want me to give them $35. I ain't gonna say, man, I just want it rare. Can I get it for $27? It's still gonna be $35. So why should I lower my standards
I wouldn't
while they lower theirs? Say it again.
You want someone to fetch and skip. You want someone to fetch and skip. And fetch and skip is not something that I think is asking too much. If someone is greeting you with a smile and they give you an order, your food is good, and of course if your glass gets, and they do run over, I think it's like half, and they start topping it off. But after a certain amount of time, you know, if you're not thirsty and you're still expecting her to fill your glass, I think that's asking too much. And I understand that you're paying for a service, you're paying for them to wait on you. But if you're expecting them to provide you something that you don't need or you don't want, or just because they have you there or you have them there, that's a bit much. I think you're asking too much.
So can you hear me? Can I
Yeah,
jump in?
I can hear you, Roy.
So I just got to jump in for a couple of reasons. So one, I've worked in the service industry. Two, my family's had restaurants. And one of the things that I think that the first part of this whole argument is something that Pete mentioned at the very beginning. One, you have to understand, this is what I want everybody to do. I'm not even going to tell y'all what it says. I'm going to give you a brief thing. Google the history of tipping and why tipping actually was started. There is absolutely no reason in 2022 that people who work at restaurants, at bars, or whatever, are not being paid at least minimum wage.
Not a one.
There is absolutely no reason. So the first thing that should happen, that should be the argument that everybody is having. Force these restaurants and these businesses to pay their staff members minimum wage, if nothing else. That should be the first part. Now, with all that being said, and like I said, because of the fact that my family has had restaurants, I've worked in it, and I've done this stuff, I am one of those, this is one of those areas that me and D agree on. I do not tip for bad service. I have stopped going to certain restaurants here in Atlanta because they put a mandatory 20% tip on my ticket. When I saw it, I was like, what the hell is this? I'm like, because, and Antoinette is the name? Antoinette.
Yeah.
It is not the fact that he's not hungry or he's not thirsty. The fact of the matter is that server is not being attentive to his needs when he sat down. Pete, wait, hold on, Antoinette, hold on, Antoinette. Let me finish what I'm saying, and I'm gonna give you the explanation to what I mean with that. Pete, as a server, if we're in a restaurant, I know that if he is a good server, that at least every 3 to 5 minutes, Pete is looking around at all his tables to see what their drinks look like. Pete's not waiting for one of them to say, hey, can I get a refill? He's going to go and he's going to notice and he's going to pay attention. That makes people think that if you go, like D said, if you go 5-7 minutes and you haven't stopped, hey, how you doing? Even if you passing by, you're not acknowledging that I am still here. I am somebody who tips based on service. I'm sorry. It is not going to be the thing because let's see, even with all my other businesses, everything is customer service with me. Somebody calls my office, I require getting them a call back within 48 hours at bare minimum. And 48 hours is really too long. You have to be, when you're doing something, that's the part about it. We have to value people's money and their time. They could have, like what Pete said, here's the reality. Pete worked at Shea Patriots restaurant. Well, you know what? Damn it, I didn't have to go to Shea Patriots. I could have went to D's Big Mac Farm. It would have been just as fine. So it's about, when you talk about tipping, it's about the service that you get, because there are a lot of bad servers who make it rough for a lot of good servers, in my opinion.
Is it my turn?
Go ahead.
Come on, Antoinette.
I agree with you. I tip based on service. But what I am saying to you is I don't expect my server to fetch and skip. I don't expect them to hover over me and around me at my snap and whip. That is not. That's more of an indentured servitude. And I just think that that's asking too much. It does matter whether or not you're thirsty. And attention to your needs. Do you need more to drink? Would you like more to eat? Are you looking at a second platter? Did you want a dessert? Can I get you an appetizer? Did you want to put that in a to-go box? As long as now, I have never worked as a waitress. I do work in customer service. But your need Your need is important, absolutely. But if you're being ignored and receiving bad service, that's another thing. But I don't want somebody standing over me trying to anticipate my every whim. I don't expect you to do that. I'm trying to enjoy my company and the
So,
ambiance.
May I jump in real quick since
so Pete,
I'm
let me.
actually in it right now? Is that okay, D?
Pete, who is that?
Yeah, that's
That's
Pete.
Roy.
That's me. That's Pete. Pete.
Let,
Yeah.
let me ask Pete a question right quick, because
Yeah,
Antoinette,
please. Okay, go ahead, man.
she jumping ship. Pete, how long is too long to not say something to a customer? Because Antoinette, you keep making it sound like I'm begging for something, and with all
Yeah.
them questions you just asked, if you don't come by to my table to ask me to see the water, then that means I gotta jump after you. Cause I said 3 to 5 minutes. I don't know why you keep saying hovering and fetching. Is 3 to 5 minutes a long time for a server not to speak to somebody, Pete? In an
It
uncrowded
depends.
restaurant.
I would just everybody's different, but typically for many servers, I won't say most because every place is different. You're probably talking anywhere from a 3 to 5 or 6 table section. So if it's real busy, uh, yes, it is. It is too long. 5 minutes. Even if you can, because this is what I do. I kind of stay in front of the curve. So I just tell you what I do. For example, if it's busy or I know it's gonna be busy, I'll tell people when they sit down, hey, listen, I want to let y'all know there's no rush or hurry, but it's real busy. So the sooner you can order, I think it might be better for you, so you don't have to wait as long for your food. And then I do a lot of what they call silent service. That's kind of an industry thing. What I mean by that is I'm like Antoinette says. One of the things I don't like is if when me and my lady are out, like if people keep asking me, or if people keep asking me every 2 minutes, "Are you okay? Are you okay?
Right.
Are you okay?" I don't have to ask you. I can just see. Wait a minute, my boy D, his water is out or his drink is low. And then to me, the way I can kind of make more profit, this is a little trick, is I'll say, hey, you ready for another drink? I'm assuming in my head they're gonna have another drink. Not that I'm trying to force it down, but I'm just saying, hey, you're ready for another
Right.
drink. So I think people appreciate the fact that you stay ahead of the curve, but that's a skill that you have to learn. So yeah, no, you don't want to be, as Antoinette said, if you hanging out with someone or having a serious conversation with somebody or you on a date, no, I don't want somebody asking me every minute, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? You know what I'm saying? Just see. But even I use a lot of hand signals too. So if I'm standing
That's
at the
right.
bar, because I work behind the bar most of the time, and I see my table needs a drink, I'll just point to them, or they'll look at me, and I'll just say, do a drinking sign or something, and they'll say yes. Or I'll go like this. So a lot of that is just silent service. But I will say this though. Let me just say this because I think this is very important. You can you can do all that. I'm telling you because it's happened to me. You can do all that. Your service can be 100, and at the end of it, you can still get low ball. So I agree with Roy, who's like he said, his family was in it. You've got to pay people a living wage because I'm telling you, when you get, I've worked at where I work now is privately owned, so it's a little bit different. But when I worked at Outback years ago. When you got people spending $150 and they're giving you $3, it's a slap in the face. And I'm telling you, it does something to you psychologically because you busted your ass, and then these people just really spit in your face by giving you their crumbs. $3 off $150 is 2%. That's a disgrace, man. And you busting
And
your
I
ass.
agree, and that is what I mean when I say they take that dissatisfaction, that disrespect that you gave them, and they take it to the next table.
So then, why
And
should
so
I
it's a
pay
bad
for it?
night for everybody when you're not honoring the service that you get.
And again,
And
why
bad
should I? Why
service
should?
is subjective. Bad service is subjective.
So if I'm being ignored because they upset with somebody else, why should I just tip them and then stop going to the restaurant? See, at the end of the day, we still talking about my money. My money means
Mm-hmm.
something to me, and if you want my
Yeah.
money, because I ain't never said you got to hover. See, having been in this lifestyle, one of the things I've learned when I want something, that way, if I'm having a conversation, you don't have to interrupt me. Because all you got to do is pour it and keep moving. And as Pete said, just ask me a quick question. You don't have to keep standing there. because you'll see we engaged in conversation. But if you can,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I kept using the example, ain't but 5 tables in this restaurant. There's no reason I'm ignored for 5 or 10 minutes. If ain't but 5 tables, you ain't that busy. I can see what's going on. I'm not gonna tip you because you feel like I should. You can't check on me, as Pete said. Just ask simple questions. Y'all ready? Y'all need a minute? You know,
Absolutely.
you ain't got to explain the whole meaning to me if I don't ask you questions. But if you
Mm-hmm.
want a better tip, all you gotta do is look and see what we doing. If we study holding the menu and you can't never say nothing, we done sat the menus down and you just keep walking by and keep walking by. You're not finna
Mm-hmm.
get a good tip. We done sat the menus down.
Oh,
What else are we supposed to do? And I refuse to snap my finger, whistle, or try to reach out at a server. I would just as soon get up because again, I am going to pay my money. They ain't giving me nothing free. So when you
Mm-hmm.
try to sit back, and I understand what Pete's saying, there are shitty tippers. There are shitty
so
tippers,
let
but
me
you can't
ask you
hold.
this.
You
Let me
hold
ask you
on,
this.
Antoinette.
When you are
Antoinette,
in
let
the
me
outing,
finish.
when you are when you are dining, and let's say
Antoinette,
that you're
let me finish.
dining, let's say that you're dining with
Roy,
a
Roy,
party,
mute it for a
and
minute.
let's say a
Roy, mute
party
it
of
for a minute.
4,
Roy,
and let's say that you're not
Roy,
getting the quality of care that you.
Antoinette. This is what we're gonna do, and I get what you want, but you gotta let me finish.
If you can get another server or if you can get a better quality of service. Do you have to wait until the end of the night and not pay them? Or
Antoinette, he's trying to get you to hold on a second. Antoinette, if you
Anto-
can hear me, there you go. Hold on a second. There you go.
Antoinette. For this process to work, when you ask a question, we let you get your answer out, but you won't let us finish. You keep giving up. What if? I'm telling you the scenario. 5 couples, 5 tables. I'm waiting 5 minutes. Everything you adding is what you add and try to change the. I gave Pete specifics. I heard what Pete said. I ain't denying that there are shitty tippers. There are shitty servers. And somewhere there's a
Mm-hmm.
happy medium. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you work for tips, you're gonna have good days and bad days. But ain't none of them bad days ain't none of my responsibility as the tipper. Because I still want ain't my fault if somebody did something else to you. It's not, and you can't hold me accountable. Oh, that guy, as Pete, you just used the example. He waited on a group of people. They spent over $200 and left a $3 tip. He may have an attitude, but if I ain't gave him no reason to have an attitude with me, what's the thing? I ain't sleep with you last night. Why you treat me like that? This is your business. If you chose a company that don't pay well, that again is not my fault. It's not my fault. And if I done saved up my hard-earned money because I'm making minimum wage too and I want to go out, guess what I want? I'm gonna spend my money wisely, not just give it away because somebody else is doing something and they treated
Mm-hmm.
me like shit. Not hovering,
Mm-hmm.
just ignoring me. Because 3 to 5 minutes with 5 tables means you are ignoring me. It means because I have tipped great to some people. Hell, I've had to ask some of them to give me a minute. Hey, you coming around a little too often because it's so slow.
Right,
And
right,
then you know
right,
what they
right,
do? They
right.
back off. They get a better tip for that because they listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You
because
got
part
that
of
call,
that,
Roy?
D, if you don't mind. No, I
Yeah.
was saying part of that is they feel like because there's not as many people, they feel like they got to be on top of you. They want to make sure you're taken care of. But if you overdo it, That's just as bad as ignoring. At least in my experience, from what I have seen, when people overdo it and they're in your face, like Antoinette was saying, that's just as bad as ignoring you. Like either one of those extremes means you're not going to do well when it comes to the end of the night getting tipped. Like you said, you got to find your sweet spot. For me, I know what my sweet spot is. I think one of the things that Antoinette said in the beginning of the conversation, and her input is really, really good here, is that you got to know your menu. You got to know your product. It's like Roy said, he's in the customer service business. He's got to know his product. He's got to know his product. I know my menu backwards and forwards. I know what foods pair with what. I know what foods sell. I know which doesn't. I know what drinks to sell. I know all those kinds of things. And when you have that kind of knowledge of your product or service, you will do well. I can tell you this in the midst of COVID, probably 75% of my business right now runs off referrals. Like earlier today, I just had some people that spend lots of money text me say, "Hey, I'm coming in Friday. Can you help us out?" You know what I mean? But that's taking some time. And the other thing I would say real quick, D, if you don't mind,
Right. Can you get
is
that
that we
phone?
got to get out the notion that our people don't tip. Our people are not generous.
That's not
because
our
some
end. I don't
people
know
don't
whose
look
that
like
is.
us. I work with both groups of people that are just as cheap, if you would. They don't tip, and so it's not a skin color thing, a melanin thing, as we often hear the narrative of our people don't tip. But really, it's a mentality or mindset thing. People really think that they should be able to go into an establishment, and like a restaurant I'm talking about, or a bar,
Yep.
and pay and not take care of the people accordingly when they know people aren't getting, as Roy said earlier, they're not getting, most of those places aren't getting minimum wage. Not only, Roy, are they not getting minimum wages, but they're also not getting health insurance. They don't get sick days. There's no sick leave. And so if we don't show up, we don't get paid. You know what I mean? So there's a
Right.
lot that we're doing that people don't
And
see, the
and the
sacrifices
only
that we're
reason
making.
when I branched it out,
Mm.
because and the dentist was just a best example. There are other
Yep.
people who give customer service. We don't tip them, but they make a living wage. As a cop,
Right.
technically,
Right.
we're customer service. I get shitty people all the time, but as soon as a cop is shitty to the next person, everybody want to raise hell. Now, and if we comparing apples to apples, somebody who didn't tip you, which puts you in a bad mood, versus when I'm out on patrol,
I
got
think
to
you
deal with somebody
froze
who
up.
just ran a
Okay, there you
stop sign. The issues that they give me, oh, he was like this. Damn right, I got a bad attitude. So it's like, when you're in customer service, you got to learn how to chuck some of that back and be a professional. Like I said, I
go.
believe in tipping.
Absolutely.
I don't believe in
Absolutely.
people thinking they've earned a tip just for coming to work from everybody. Um, I'm against people, and that's why I wanted you on the show. I do. I've had friends who I hung out with one time. I had a friend who ran a club. He said, "D, I'm gonna let you and your folk drink all night. Just tip my waitress." Cool. I don't drink. At that time, I wasn't drinking at all. I had 3 orange juices, $20 tip, because
Wow.
I know that all my friends, all of us drinking free. We got a dedicated
Right.
server. Most of them drinking liquor. All the rest
Right.
of my friends, we've been drinking all night. All the rest of my friends giving at least $50, because
Right.
that's probably about what they was drinking. But I had one who
Right.
gave $5. Now I know he done had 3 premium drinks and he gave $5. He like, well, everybody else gave 50. That ought to be enough for him. I said, you know what? It ain't no problem. I gave a little bit more, and then I just cut him off because she was hovering over us. But we was in the gentleman's club. We drinking and having fun, acting like little teenagers. But we ain't
Right.
paid for now drink. So whatever you
Right.
saved on drinks should automatically went to her. But again,
Absolutely.
she would, she, she coming around like clockwork. And that's what I'm saying. That's what a distinction is when do they
Yeah.
deserve it? Cause I ain't gonna. I'm with Roy. As soon as I see that mandatory minimum on there, I don't want to play no more, because you making me pay for something that they ain't earned yet. Whether it's cause hell, I've been ignored at restaurants, but it was crowded. I saw she was hustling and bustling. I saw her busting tables, doing this, doing that. Guess what I expected from them? Much of nothing, because I see what the environment is. So because she's doing all that and she's still managing to take care of me as best she can, there's a tip. I don't expect the
Mhm.
same service from when I go to a chain restaurant and it's packed versus when I go somewhere and it's 3 or 4 tables. But there is no standard that everybody and saying people what they should do. Like I said, there's a pandemic going on. People using Instacart, because that was Instacart and DoorDash, simply because they can't afford to drive nowhere. They saving their hard-earned money to try to get these little things to make them feel like they still doing something. And I know you working too, but
Mhm.
you can't what they say, you can't squeeze blood out of turnip, whatever that is. Some people ain't got it. They doing the best they can to remain human. So Pete, them
Mhm.
days when you got good days, some days you got good customers, but you know they ain't got the money to tip you like you should have, and you know they doing the best they can. So sometimes you as a professional, you got to weigh the good with the bad, but you still got to keep your professionalism.
Absolutely. You definitely have to chalk some things up to the game, which I know. And the thing is, I've been doing this so long, I can feel out. I can feel like, okay, this person or this family really made a sacrifice to come out here, but they were very kind and very pleasant and very gracious. So I know, hey, they didn't do what I thought they should do, but I knew that they did what they could do, and I'm gonna get blessed on the other side of it just because I treated them as humans. I affirmed their humanity. I gave them great service. I didn't look down on them or judge them. I guess for me, I'm talking about the people who come in there dressed to the
The
nines,
flexers.
who got the money. Yeah, people who are flexing, drinking, Patron shots, this, that, and the third, hot, like you said, high premium quality drinks, paying with cash, flashing ice or whatever. But then they feel privileged and entitled, and then they're holding up their glass and shaking it at you, or they're talking to you crazy. Like, I'm a man just like you. So I don't. All that don't impress me. Like, if you just piss me off enough, I just pass you off to somebody else. I don't have to. We do have a right to refuse service. And
Right.
if you intentionally disrespect me, I don't give a damn how much money you have. I will not wait on you because there's no money, there's no amount of money worth me sacrificing my dignity to bow to your wealth or whatever it is that you have. I'm not going to
To
do
be
it.
your
I just
indentured
pass it off to
servant.
somebody else.
And
Yeah,
that's
right,
what I'm
exactly.
talking about, indentured servitude.
Yeah, right,
Right,
exactly.
and I
So,
got it. I gave a woman a
yeah,
tip one day because she didn't cuss a guy who was being really obnoxious, and he kept saying stuff.
yeah.
Because I had to just lean over and say something to him, dude. She a grown ass woman. She's somebody's daughter. All the extras you giving her, and he's like, nigga, mind your own business, dude. I don't work here.
See,
And
I
I ain't
don't
even got
like
no
that.
real ID. But I gave her a 20 because she was so, whenever she came to our table, you could see her rolling her eyes. And I was like, it's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Just work through it. Or go tell your manager. I will tell him everything that I've heard them say to you. And she's like, well, I don't want to cause no trouble. But you can't let people treat you like this. Because I guarantee his tip ain't going to be that
Absolutely
big.
not.
And even if he tip you that big, he going to want to touch you. Just the way his conversation is going. So go on and cut him off
Yep.
early. As a matter of
Yep.
fact, do me a favor. Go get your manager for me. Because I'm gonna make a complaint. Because you don't need to be there. And, I gave her extra money just because of him. And that's how I understand the difference. But again, it's about every now and then, you got to just count your blessings and realize everybody ain't where you think they're going to be. And to suggest that because you dropped some food off at my door, I should leave you a 20-30% tip. I might not have had to get gas money. All I had was this because somebody just cashed out me some money. I put it on that little card to get me some food because I need to say what I can. And that's all I'm saying. It's two sides to both coins. And this is a pandemic. Everybody ain't got it like they used to. But some people still save up every little penny just to splurge one time. And they want to just feel human again. And sometimes we got to understand that. I understand when I go certain places as a cop, some people are going to be rude to me just because of the situation. It's got nothing to do with me. I don't give them that back.
Right.
I just got to kind of take it, understand the situation, and keep moving. Customer service people,
Right.
sometimes you just got to just smile about it, do what they do on Saturday Night Live, just make this little thing and keep squeezing their head as you walking by and keep smiling, keep going. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, but I think it goes back to what Roy said in the beginning, which was you got to pay people a living wage. That's a big, big, big part of it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you got these people out here, man, they talk about frontline workers being hospital folks and healthcare, and of course we love them and we appreciate them, but these people working in these restaurants and
And
bars
see,
and
one of
stuff,
the things that
they're
I thought should
frontline
have been
workers,
done,
man.
I thought when this whole pandemic hit, this is just my personal thought. All frontline workers or all essential workers, they should have been tax exempt. Period. At a minimum, that's what the government should have did for them. Make all of them tax exempt.
That's
Say
a
it again.
good point. I never heard anyone say that.
Yeah, I mean, it was an easy something to do because you know who they are. The grocery store workers, all the little people that everybody don't think about that we need to function all day. The truck drivers, the Burger King workers, all them. Yeah, all them people who made life a little bit easier for us, who was putting themselves in harm's way.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, the businesses can't afford to get them raises because they slow. But the government can just say, hey, you know what? We ain't gonna. As a matter of fact, we ain't gonna tax them all year. Period. And let that be that.
I think we still had the young lady on the phone.
Antoinette, you still there with me?
I am.
Okay, so when I come,
you want me to hang up?
No, you good.
When we come to when we come to North Carolina, I'm gonna let you take me. I'm gonna see how much you tip, so I can come back to the show and talk about. I'm gonna see what you doing.
Look, I don't do that. I cook at home. I cook at home. I don't go out, and I'm staying COVID free. I'm staying
Antoinette,
healthy. And when COVID go running off into the universe with whoever she came with, that's when I'm going out, and that might be a year or two from now.
Okay, well, are you a good cook, Antoinette?
Oh, yes. I'm
mean,
from
like, for
Carolina.
real.
Did you hear me say I'm from
What
North
that
Carolina?
mean?
From North Carolina.
People in North Carolina.
Is there a person in
don't
North
they
Carolina?
cook?
Is there a person, not a man or a woman, a person in North Carolina who cannot cook?
Barney, B, Andy, all of them ain't they in North Carolina? I ain't messing with you.
Now I did go out to Outback, but I will put this little bit in. I did go out to Outback, and I got a Cobb salad, and I got a bloomin' onion, and that was $28 for a Cobb salad and a bloomin' onion. And I did tip a small tip because a year ago a Cobb salad and a bloomin' onion was like $20.
Hold on, you get a small tip because of what now? Because I'm finna fuss at you now.
Yeah, I only tipped a little bit because the price went up so high. Because that's my thing. When I get from Outback, I get my Cobb salad and my bloomin' onion, and it's usually like $20. But the last time I went, it was like $28.
I am not tipping on to-go orders. I'm sorry, that is not happening.
I tip on to-go orders because little JoJo was running from car to car with that little pad, making sure he had the little slide thingy so you can pay for your meal, hustle, bustle back and forth to get the food, make sure you had the drink, everything was in there. Before you go, thank you, have a safe trip. Yes,
this
I
is
gave
why
him a little bit of extra money. But that bloomin' onion and Cobb salad cost me like $32.
See, and here's the other thing. This is the funny part about this. We talk about all of this stuff as it relates to the pandemic and how that affected the supply chain, which in turn caused prices to go up at these restaurants.
Right.
Those prices did not go up exponentially that much where they had the right to do that and not be able to pay their people. I am waiting for somebody to run for office and let their entire platform be, I want to make sure that every server in this country makes at least minimum wage. I guarantee you if somebody does that, there's a difference between minimum wage and a living wage. So I get that. Now, I'm somebody who says that the bare minimum you should be paying somebody for working is 10 in this society. But my thing is, somebody needs to run for office and make that their platform and make that their mission. Because again, if you look at it and see why tipping started, you'll understand that it is well beyond outdated. The whole concept of tipping is well beyond being outdated. And you have to make sure that these companies have to be more held accountable. I'm gonna give y'all one example of a spot here, Darren. I don't know if you've ever been to a spot here in Atlanta called Ocean Air. It's over in Midtown. No. Okay, Ocean Air is a seafood restaurant. It's a top tier seafood restaurant. You're gonna spend $1.25 for 2 people, bare minimum.
Wow.
If you going in there, but let me tell you something. And mind you, I had been to Houston's, Del Frisco's, and all these other high-end steak places in Orlando and stuff. I got the best service that I have ever literally had at any establishment when I went to Ocean Air. And even though I paid $1.25, we tipped $50 because the service was beyond impeccable for what we spent our money on. Now, mind you, I done been to places like Del Frisco's and a Ruth Chris where I had to call the manager and be like, I'm gonna tip your guy $5 because the service was horrible. My food was good, but the service was horrible. And you have to that's the part where me and D is right. I'm not gonna give you something just because you showed up to work. You know, and you're gonna give me the bare minimum. If you choose to be in this industry, because Pete, you know, if you've been in it, you actually can make a whole lot of money. They're depending on where you're working at.
Absolutely.
In the places that you're at, you can make a boatload of money being a server. But the ones who make a lot of money, they are those are the people who you see who always happy. Who you be wondering, like, does this motherfucker ever have a bad day? I ain't never seen him not smiling. You know, those are the type of people that make a lot of money because they can, like D says, they can leave their problems at the door when they go to work. They don't bring their problems into their job with them because they understand what that means for them. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get off that soapbox.
But that brings me back to the question that no one ever answered. If you go to a restaurant and you are being served and the server is not to your liking, it's just not, they're just not on their game, is it outrageous to contact the manager or the what is the person who the host to ask for a different server or to ask for them to talk to her to pick up their game? Is that outrageous?
D,
Instead
let me
of
answer
waiting
that
to the end of the night and not paying them?
Let me answer that, because here's the thing. Because first thing you got to realize, there's a difference between somebody being off their game and somebody being a bad server. You, as a human being, you can normally tell if somebody's having a bad day. Most of us, we will wear our emotions on our sleeves to some level. And if we're having a bad day, and you know what? Yeah, I may even say something to the server first, be like, hey, look, you know, I don't know, it look like you might be having a bad day or something. You know, let's go do that. And if they say, you know what, I did have some situation, blah, 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 try to explain it. Usually that in itself will get the server to either recognize that they need to do something a little better, or hell, they may even be like, you know what, you're right. Let me go talk to my manager. And they may need to go home. Because I would say, because I'm going to tell you, if you stop somebody in the middle of serving you and you go call the manager, that's worse. Because now you're making it seem like that person has been bad with their service, and that it has been.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If their service is bad enough where you don't tip a reasonable tip, or don't tip at all, or don't give them $5, then that's bad service. So let's be clear. Now, if the service is bad, it's bad. If you don't want to report them and just cheat them, that's bad. That's you being bad with bad.
But see, sweetheart, that's not cheating.
But if you know that the server is a poor-ass server and you want somebody else, it's the manager's job to jump in and grab that apron to serve you, to bring that service up into an acceptable standard.
Now, D,
but if you got somebody who is just out of their league in the service industry, they not going to be there for much longer anyway. But I don't have any problem saying,
I want to go back to something that you said.
It's not on their game, and I would appreciate a different server for the remainder of my experience.
Now I'm gonna go back to something. See, this is the problem with having children when they was growing up and being in the house. I hear everything that somebody said. One of the very first things that you said is that you don't even like going out with people who will talk about, or who will try to get the server changed, or who complain about stuff. Because listen,
who will humiliate the server?
That server is friends with the cook. You still got to get your food.
Listen. It's just like this. If you are out on a date with somebody and there is just nothing that they can be there's nothing that this server can do to satisfy them, and the server is still showing up with a smile and with a willingness to accommodate, and there's no satisfaction. The problem is not necessarily with the server.
Well, I was about to say, that's a bad
customer. The problem
is
probably with the customer.
That's a bad customer,
and so we need to make sure we understand the difference, especially, and then turn around and give them $2.
Well, no, see, here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Because if I have to call the manager, this is the first thing I'm going to do. I am going to, whoever the new server is, if they've done well, I'm going to tip them cash in their hand. I'm not going to give anything to somebody who gave me bad service to the point where I had to actually call the manager up. Because if I got to call the manager up, that's beyond bad to me.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, but from my perspective, from a woman's perspective, I am trying to rescue my experience. I'm here for an experience. I'm here to have good food, and I'm here to have good service. But if the food is good and the service is bad and you can't get your life, I need to rescue myself from you. I don't need to suffer you for the rest of the night. That's ruining my experience. My goal is to have a good experience. You can't cut it. I need a manager. I need someone to help me maintain this good vibe that I got going on here this evening. Thank you very much.
All right, so before we take a break, I got one last question for you. So this person who destroying your vibe, Antoinette, You still gonna get them a tip? Cause then what's the lesson that they learn? That even with shitty service, they gonna still get a little something, something.
I
If you
am
ask me.
going to tip according to my service. So, hypothetically, if I had a bad server, and let's say I cut her off at the quarter hour of my visit, and then the remaining of my visit, I have a good service, then I am going to tip according to my service. And what Miss Ann get is between her and the second server.
What
I'm
a
going to
thing got a
tip
second
based on
server
my
who can help
service.
you? What a thing got a second server who can serve you?
I have never had that experience.
Okay, so if I ask for another server, you will still go out me. I'm just trying to get there because
If you have the fortitude, if you have the insight, the inclination to say this ain't working for us, I need someone who's going to be able to provide a better experience. Yeah, I'll go out with you. If you can see that, situation, then you worth another meal.
All right, you stay with me because I got a discussion I want me and Pete to talk about. You good, Miss Antoinette?
I'm good. I'm finna hang up because I got people blowing up my cell phone. I gotta
I
go.
want to thank you for calling and listening to the show.
Appreciate it, Antoinette.
Come on back soon.
All right.
All right, Roy. Take us a break so me and Pete can get ready for this second half.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him.
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
It's never too.
I don't see the countdown, Roy. All right, I'm gonna guess that we back again. Like I said, I'm here with my man Pete Almeida.
What up?
Who it took me like a year and a half to get him on my show because he kept avoiding me for some unknown reason. So now he here, I'm gonna call him out. He wearing the Patriot hat, so we're gonna have that tie right there. One of the other things I want to talk about on the show, it is the holiday season, and as I started off, everybody do different things for the holidays. Some people celebrate Christmas, some Kwanzaa, some whatever. Some don't celebrate anything. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and I'm glad I got Pete here, is I've been open and honest as I could about the depression. I don't talk about everything, but I want to give you guys enough to know what's going on. This is the worst time of year for most depressed people because a lot of family gatherings are happening, and depending on what is one of the triggers for their depression, this is a really hard time of year, and you gotta, you I hate to say it, but you kind of do gotta walk on eggshells when you're dealing with some of these people. I've told you guys before about how much I hate the post about, if you're going through something, call me. You only feed into their depression. Depression people feel worthless. If they gotta call you, you're feeding into that system, because chances are when they call you, you're gonna be busy, and they're gonna notice in your voice, they're gonna get off the phone. If you think somebody has any depression issues, and Pete said he had a little, don't make them have to call you. Don't
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Just especially these next 30, 45 days, just reach out just on GP. Let them know that they don't have to sound depressed or put up a help message on social media to get a call to say that somebody's looking out for them. Most of us know somebody who we think, man, I wonder what's going on with them. Just reach out to them and give them a call. Let them know, hey man, let's go do something. Let's do just whatever it is, but have a conversation with them. From a lot of the things that I've researched about depression and holidays, when you go back and look at the people who did it and the cryptic notes that they left or the cryptic signs that they left that nobody noticed, when you look at their phone log, they usually make 1 or 2 phone calls and just to tell people bye. But before that, you don't see a lot of people calling them, even after they post a cryptic message. But if you go to their Facebook page or social media page, you will see where everybody's saying, call me, bro, call me, sis, call me. But you don't see nobody calling them. See, they put out that message. And it's crazy. If you look at some of the situations, there's a phone near where they committed suicide. They will wait for somebody to call them just to talk them out of it. That call never came. So, with this being the holiday season, understand, just do a little bit more than you normally would. I know everybody busy, everybody planning, but for that person who you think might have a little something going wrong, reach out to them. Let them know they got a friend. Let them know that they matter to somebody. Because that's the root of depression, thinking that you're worthless. 3 to 5 minutes. Yo, Pete, what's going on, man? This D. I just wanted to holler at you, let you know everything going good, man. We got to get together and have that drink or something to go play pool. See, for Pete, if he was suffering from depression, that does a lot. Because it's like, that dude didn't have to reach out to me. So damn, maybe I am kind of important. If it don't nothing but make him reevaluate his life for 10, 20 more days, now he ain't. And that's something that we got to do a better job of. I will always hate them posts that say, call me. Call me. I'm going to hate them till the day I die. They suck, and they feed into that. And, I don't want to do a sad show for the holidays, but because it is the holiday season, I got to let y'all know that you got to do it this time of year. Because they see everybody getting together, people playing and stuff, and somebody forgot to call Uncle Tommy. Somebody forgot to call Auntie Sheila. And that's who it was that was going through it. Because you just think they're going to show, oh, she going to show in. You got to do it. And you got anything you want to say, Pete?
Yeah, no, man. I think all of what you said is so important. And just to piggyback off that, I would say, especially this year, just because of COVID, and this is going to be this holiday season is the first without a mother or a father or a cousin or uncle or a brother or a coworker or a friend. So I would just say this, D. I think the biggest gift you can give to somebody this holiday season, in my opinion, is the gift of your presence, as you said so astutely. Just to let someone know I'm here, and not the fact that we have these phones, and now we have FaceTime, and if you don't have FaceTime, you can do WhatsApp, and if you don't have WhatsApp, you can do Google Duo, and if you don't have Google Duo, you can always go to Zoom. Like, just to let somebody know, like you said, I do it all the time. I just text someone, hey, I was just checking on you. Hope everything's well with you and the family. And people really appreciate that. And I know, because I know in my moments I appreciated that. Secondly, as you said, for this time of year, this is a trigger. There is something psychologically, it's called SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Look it up, seasonal affective disorder. During changes of seasons, whether it be weather or holiday times, like you said, these are the times where people are triggered the most.
Right.
And they're triggered the most is because we live in a culture that, what do we see on TV? we see families and smiles and happiness and snow and sledding and Christmas decoration if you go that route. And you could the Lexus, we all seen that Lexus commercial where you go outside the $1 million house and you got a big nice Lexus in the yard with a bow. That's unrealistic. Those are just things that trigger happy feelings so that we can go spend our money. But I know because I personally had seasonal affective disorder. I was just talking about this like a week ago. I remember one Christmas. I'm divorced, and my son's mom and I split custody, and my son was real small. I think he was like about 7 years old, maybe 8 years old, 7 or 8, young at the time. And I remember I was just me. I worked on Christmas Eve, but on Christmas Day it was just me, and I was home all day. It was just me by myself. And I went to go pick up my son, and he stayed with me the night, and it was fine. And he opened his gifts, and we had a good time. But he was still so young that it just broke my heart. And I remember a close friend of mine, a brother, his name was Tommy Morris, and I'll never forget. He came over, and I remember we were outside, and he was about to go, and I just broke down and started crying. I said, "Thank you so much for coming. Like, you have no idea how much it meant," because I felt powerless. I felt alone. I felt hopeless, even though I had my child with me. It's different relating to your child than relating to your peer, or everybody was celebrating and doing this, that, and the third. So I say all that to say, as you said, be proactive in how you deal with people as opposed to reactive, right? Reactive is if I say to DP, like you said, D, call me. No, no, no. Why don't I pick up the phone and just check on you? Why don't I just text you, email you? Like, there's so many ways now we can get a hold of someone. Hey, we're going to have a Zoom get together on Thursday. Just jump on Zoom for 10 minutes. Like, I'm telling you, like you said, man, just the fact that somebody knows that somebody is there and acknowledging their humanity can literally, and you can attest to this, is literally the difference between life and sometimes death. For someone to know that you're there means a lot, man. So I agree with what you said, man. It's important,
It's a life-saving phone
for our
call.
people, especially for our community, man. Because we don't do that. We try to be tough and front like we got things together, but we be going through too.
And it's unfortunately it's worse amongst men, especially black men. And I'm gonna do a show next year about why black men are more sensitive. And they keep fighting with me on it, but it's because one, we don't know how to show our emotions, so we fight. Which is, you're fighting because you're sensitive. We don't we,
Mm-hmm.
we can't cry like women because and I've discussed this on other shows. Me and Pete hanging out, when Pete started crying, we haven't been taught what to do with each other when we started crying. You know, a man's first response is, man, let's go to the club, let's go find some women, get your mind. We don't know how to sit down and have a conversation and let each other vent. Women can do that much better than us. It's something that we've got to learn. And through my bouts of depression, I've learned this because I've learned more about people around me, because I've learned how to spot me and them. And I've had some friends who needed to talk, and I recognized,
Yeah.
I saw my eyes in them. I saw that despair. So you just make them talk about whatever. You give them a laugh. You get them to see. Don't tell them how great their life is, because now you treat them like they stupid. Make them tell you what's great so they can see it. Because when you tell them how great their life is and they already in a downslide, what you're saying is, I'm ignoring everything you're telling me and telling you stupid. Just, hey man, let them tell you stuff, and you just sit there and talk, and don't be in a hurry. I had to leave one day. I told Trina, my wife, I said, hey, I need to go see somebody because I think Buddy having a moment. She said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Because I
Yep.
knew his voice sounded, I knew when I asked him
Mm-hmm.
what he was doing. The way he said nothing told me he was playing or something.
Mm.
Bro, I'll be there in 15 minutes. So if you're going to do it, it better be within 15 minutes. We got in the car. We probably talked about 2 hours. All we wrote, we were cruising because we rode around the block probably about 20 times.
Right.
So I couldn't just leave him. Shot Trina a
Mm-hmm.
message, hey, it's gonna be a minute. And he sent me a message later. He said, man, I appreciate you coming by. Cause it just does something. And people don't realize the power that they have by simply putting that foot forward, reaching out to somebody first, as opposed to, if you can tell me to call you, why can't you call me? Let the
Right.
send button on your phone,
Okay.
bro.
Right. 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 Right.
And Like I said, I don't want to make this be a sad moment.
No,
But
no,
this is one
but
of them things
it's a
that's
real
so important.
conversation. Yeah. I was gonna
And
say, and then I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
D. Go ahead. Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
No,
Go
do your
ahead,
thing.
please. I was gonna say and then what it also does is when I'm telling you to call me, it puts the power back on me, and it makes me feel more overwhelmed that I already am. As you said a little while ago, D. A lot of times it ain't like people ain't putting out warning signs, people ain't putting out cries for help. It's just that we're not responding to them properly. And I think, like you said, most people when they ask how are you doing, they just say as a pleasantry as opposed to really being like, yo, how are you really doing? And not only that, but I'm here for you. My presence is here for you. You know, like people say this all the time. I'm sure you heard of this, D. People be like, that's why the creator gave us two ears and one set of eyes, two ears and one mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we talk. I think that's the thing that I have seen in my experience, and I don't know about yours, but the other thing we can't do when people are going through their depressive moments or their down times, we can't just try to fix them. And I have seen this especially previously being involved in highly religious communities. You can't just throw scriptures at people. You can't just pray for people. Though those are important, sometimes the best remedy, the best advice you can give is silence and presence, as you did. You just drove around the block over and over again with this brother because he needed that. And I think and I'm not saying those people don't have good intentions, but oftentimes it's because they don't want to remain present for the long haul, if that makes sense. They want to talk to you, they want to try to fix it. Okay, I got to go. And they're on to other things. And when you're talking about mental health, my dude, especially with what people got going on, it's a long term process many times. Like, that's the thing, my guy, right? Like, are you going to be willing to jump in the foxhole with me? Or are you going to just look at me in the foxhole while you're standing up on the ground? Like, if I'm a soldier, I know, and you're my guy, I'm going to jump in the foxhole with you, or I'm going to throw a ladder down and help you get out. But
Right.
many times people stand on top of the foxhole looking down at you, literally and figuratively talking to you, trying to get you out of there. And some things aren't quick fixes. Some things are, I have depressive episodes. I have generalized anxiety. This is a long term thing. Are you willing to hitch your wagon to me as much as you're mentally and emotionally capable? And I can tell you, man. Okay, let me just share. I'll give you a real story if that's okay. Listeners out there, this is what happened to me, and I posted this on my page about a year ago. So, as I said, I was living on my own. And when I went out in public, especially to events and stuff, I always dressed well. I was doing modeling and stuff, so I was always dressing up, right? But yo, my house, I don't know if you saw that picture. I have to repost it. My house was a mess, yo. Like, I couldn't get my house clean. I couldn't get it organized. And there was stuff everywhere. And it wasn't hoarding. I wasn't like had stuff piles high, but my house, like, I couldn't see my dining room floor, yo. I couldn't see my bedroom floor hardly. I could barely see my living room floor. It just had stuff everywhere. And it was so emotionally overwhelming and paralyzing. Like, I would get headaches literally. I couldn't function. Yo,
Right.
I couldn't have guests over. My son saw how it was looking at various times when he was staying with me, and I had to try to explain it to him. It was a mess, yo. And when I finally moved out of that space, man, uh, you know, I had one rider with me, man, and that was my baby Tasha, and she came into the house with me, and I'm not talking literally, D. I'm not talking about figurative. I'm talking about literally. We literally
Right.
threw away probably 35 bags of garbage, just stuff that I had just for context, I had been in the apartment for 10 years, so I had just had stuff accumulated. But dude, it was so disempowering. And I say that to say, now I had shared
Pete,
that with some people,
Pete,
with some brothers, as a matter of fact.
Pete, do you
And there
mind if
was
I
like
share the
one guy
pictures?
who I won't name was like, oh, we had lunch and I showed him the pictures of the house. I'm like, I need some help, man. He's like, oh, he prayed for me and tried to fix me. I shared it with a bunch of other brothers. And none of those cats, man, as well meaning or intended as they were willing to jump in the foxhole. They were just trying to fix me. Oh, well, you need to do this, this, and that. I'm like, dude, if I could do it, I would do it. I can't. I
Right.
need some help. Like, I literally, my guy, was crying out for help. If I'm showing you pictures of my personal space, and I mean, dude, there was like papers and clothes just everywhere, and I couldn't get out of it, man. You know how disempowering that is, and how overwhelming psychologically and emotionally it is. And there was one person who
Do
jumped
you
in
mind
that
if Roy shows
foxhole,
the
man.
pictures?
No, you got him.
Yeah. I remember we've had this conversation before. You
Yeah,
showed.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah,
you
yeah.
showed
That's
them
right.
before, so you're
Because
good.
after that, I think we did an episode on that, and then I actually went live myself personally, and it was very hard to talk about. No, you can show 'em. It was
All right.
bad, man. Yo, it was bad. And I don't think I realized how bad it was because what had happened was there was a period of a few months where I wasn't staying at the apartment. I wasn't. And so when I went back in, you know how you're away from something and then you go back into it, you're like, damn, this shit is a wreck. Yo,
Who
it
shit
was
is
a
this?
mess, yo. It was a mess, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. But it was so embarrassing. Like I remember the first time I went in there, I never forget it. I think it was the summer of when before COVID, and I just cried, man. I looked at all this and I'm like, I can't believe I was living like this, man. And without my baby, man, I wouldn't be here, fellas. I ain't gonna front, man. I still be in that space, man. So forever eternally grateful for somebody who saw what I was dealing with and jumped in the foxhole with me, man. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, there's okay, yeah. So thank you. Go back to the other one, Roy. Go back. Yeah. So for those who are looking at that is my apartment formerly, and as you can see, there's crap. Those are let me see, clothes. That's my bookshelf. I don't know if you see that little light right there to your right. I'm looking at maybe y'all's left. That's an extra room. That was my son's room. Now keep in mind, some of this stuff is my son's clothes. Okay, you can go to the next page. Go to the next picture. Yeah, that's the dining room, and you can see there's all kind of papers and plastic bag and clothes. What's that? A laundry basket, yo. It was rough. You can keep going. I just give y'all a tour. Yeah, that's the other part of the living room. So you can't see the floor. That's what's that? The fireplace. Yeah, I didn't have a flat screen TV at the time. That's an old school TV. That's my floor couch that I bought at Goodwill. But you can see I'm not just collecting stuff. That's how my house looks. You can keep going. Okay, that's it. Yeah, so
That was the
I
last one.
mean,
Those are the only
yo,
three I found.
yeah. No, I think so. And what I'll do is I have some more of what it looked like after we cleaned up. But I mean, man, just to see that again, I don't have the same emotional like response to it, but still, it's like, man, I'm telling y'all out there, man, this mental health stuff is real. And if I didn't show it to you, no one would have never known beside my child that I was going through that. Because you couldn't, I was always dressed really well when I went out. Like I said, when I did functions, I was doing, fashion shows and just in a different space. You know what I mean? So if I didn't show you that, I just felt like I needed to show people that, D, to give people hope that no matter what, man, there's a way out. You can come out of you can work your way through it, man. But you got to have those people that are gonna jump in that foxhole with you. And for me, man, I'm grateful. I really am. So.
It takes more than just talking about it. And this is one of the things that I've noticed about people who suffer from depression or extreme anxiety. And Roy can tell you this because me and Roy been knowing each other for a while. But Roy never knew I was suffering from depression because we're the best at hiding things. It's what we do. As honest as we are the best liars on the planet because we don't need people to know what we are. And I saw a post the other day that it's great to have a woman to talk to. It's phenomenal, but the woman is not a psychologist. At some point during the talking process, if y'all not formulating some kind of plan to get you up and out, it just won't work because we need more than just conversation. At some point, we need to be able to see a light that ain't a train. It needs to be like daylight,
Yeah.
and that's a whole different process. I did a show before, and one of my co-hosts, his girlfriend was suffering from depression and he didn't know how to deal with it. And I was like, sometimes there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you need to say. Just be there. Let her cry. Don't ask her shit. If she want to tell you, she'll tell you. If she don't, when she get through crying, let her do her thing. Because sometimes it's just, we're so overwhelmed with the thought of having somebody with us that it's overjoyed. They tears are overjoyed. But asking us what's wrong all the time won't get you nowhere. You
Hey,
gotta, we won't say it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let me read this. I think it's something close to what you read. A friend of mine posted this, a repost from somebody. And I thought, man, yo, listen to this, man. It says, and I just screenshotted this Monday. It says, I think the reason people think their partners can be their therapist is because they think therapy is just talking about their feelings. Therapy is a treatment plan. Psychology is a science. Listen to this. This is it. Listen. Having someone listen to you vent is not the same as creating a plan to heal trauma. I will That's it right there, man. Like we can have, like you said, people we can talk to, we can vent to, whatever, and partners or whatever in our peoples, but having a person to create a plan to help us heal trauma. And I think that's the next step for a lot of us, D. Like you said, we, especially as men, especially as black men, we good at hiding it. And a lot of times it's because, and I'm not blaming this, but the truth is society perfects us, expects us to perform, it expects us to show up, it expects us to be a certain way. Black women expect us to be a certain way. And I'm not knocking that, but how can we be that way if we're dealing with these traumas and we feel alone and powerless and helpless, you know?
And it's even worse when you're what's a good word, when you are a great male, because nobody ever thinks that you can be weak. Nobody
Yes.
ever thinks that
Yes.
something, like I say,
Yep.
Roy been with me since forever. And
Hmm.
for the people who was follow me, they see me doing security at the club. I'm dressed nice. I'm always with different
Right.
women. I'm always doing this. And me and Roy was doing a show one time, and Roy said something to me. I said, "No, Roy, I gotta keep moving." I said, "I'm sweating like a racehorse because I'm nervous." He's like, "You
Hmm.
nervous?" I was like, "Yeah, bro." I said, I said, "I can hear my heartbeat. I don't know how y'all can't hear it."
You're right.
And so I said,
Right.
"Roy," I said, "just come give me a hug right quick." And he felt how wet I was. I said, I'm panicking.
Wow.
And Ross like, "Damn, I would have never
Yeah.
knew." I said, "Yeah, you ain't supposed to see it, but I can't keep
Hmm.
sitting because shit,
Yep.
I lost 4 pounds doing the show. Just
Wow.
I wasn't sweating here, but from man, I
Hmm.
couldn't wait. And I was like, I need to get some fresh air. And Ross was like, "Damn, I would have never knew." But even then, I didn't tell him about my depression because it was my well kept secret.
Yep.
So
Yep.
me and my girl had talked, and she was like, "You need to say something because people, you're the poster boy. Because everybody think you got a great life. Everybody see you doing this. You always having fun. You joking. You talking
Yep.
trash. You got all these women around you." And
Yep.
when I said something, people's like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah, And I tell people, these are the things. It's like, man, I would have never knew. I said, most people never ask. I said, because I've had people ask me how I was doing, just because I was a smart ass. I said, I'm thinking about tell people how you feeling. If they don't want to hear, they're gonna keep moving. I say, shit. That's one reason I stopped asking people how they were doing, because sometimes I know I didn't care. And depression can make you so selfish and so self-centered because nothing else matters. When you're going through an episode, nothing. The house on fire. Who cares? I mean, I don't want to live no way, so it's probably a good sign. And as you were saying, people want to keep quoting God. Know
Oh
know your
man,
personnel, know
bro.
your audience. If they not religious, then you hitting them with a horseshoe. It ain't nothing you saying. You gotta get them where they are. You can't bring me to your world. You gotta come to my world and help me dig a ditch where I am. You on solid ground. I'm in quicksand. So it's like you got to
Yep.
understand this, and sometimes the best thing you can do, as he said, is use your 2 ears and listen. Just let them talk.
Man,
Let them talk.
bro.
Don't say nothing. Don't tell them how great their life is. Don't tell them what they got to live for. We done thought all these things out, and we figure out how
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
we know how our life would be better, because then other people ain't got to worry about us. So everybody who you mention that needs me, if I'm gone, then that's one less something they got to worry about. So when you
Hmm.
saying things, sometimes you making it worse, as opposed to just, I call one of my friends. I say, "Hey, I need you to go. I need you to check on your little buddy." He's like, "Why?" I said, "Cause the post they just made sound suicide. I don't know them like that, but y'all supposed to be cool."
Hmm.
And she's like, "I ain't see it." I said, "Yeah, it just popped up on my timeline for whatever reason." I said, "But Rich, as a matter of fact, why don't you just, you know what she said?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Why don't you just get dressed and go over there?" She called me back like 2 days later. She's like, "How did you know some of those?" I say, "I saw the post." You know,
Yep.
she got the pills, she got the liquor, she was ready to do it. And I was like, you
Hmm.
know, these are your friends. You got to notice these things. I sit back, I look at some posts. I've inboxed my cyber friends because they made a post.
Hmm.
I didn't like the way the post read. And Trina said, "What about this person?" I said, "That person that said I want to kill myself. They'll be something else. They'll say something really dark, but they won't say nothing over the top. This guy just wants women in his inbox to ask him for shit. Doing my own self diet, my doctorship coming in. But yeah, this holiday season, man, it's hard on a lot of people. Then you throw
Yeah.
COVID on top of that. You
Yeah.
throw in the fact that a lot of people have lost somebody that they knew personally.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a lot of they got a lot of instances that would fall under post traumatic stress disorder. They may not suffer from
Absolutely.
depression, but they are being
Absolutely.
depressed. The depression is kicking in, and it's kicking in high gear because all the people they used to could spend holidays with, they ain't around.
Right.
You know,
Right.
grandma ain't there to call. The uncle or the cousin who they used to all joke up, they ain't there no more. So who's their strength? And you know, that's what I said. We got to do a better job of reaching out.
Good
And
point.
it's not that hard. It's not. Everybody got a phone now. Just reach out and make a
Right.
3-minute phone call. And I
Everybody's
guarantee you, it'll
texting,
work
so
wonders.
just shoot a text, man. Do that.
Yeah, but and the only reason I say call them is because when you call them and hear their voice will tell you way more than a text will. Their
Yeah,
voice
that's
just
true.
you can hear stress in their voice. You can hear how they
Yeah.
feeling, and you can don't ask them what's wrong. Just have a little conversation and go
Yeah.
from there. The texts are great, but like I said, hearing that voice, it does so because then it's you put something human with it, and it's like man, you know, and it's funny because the first thing I'm gonna think is damn what they need because we're used to helping everybody else. We ain't used to nobody wanting to help us, so we want to make sure you're
Right.
good. And now that you're trying to flip the script on me to make sure I'm good, it's like oh shit, and it's like damn maybe they know I can't do it now because we don't want nobody. We don't want nobody to know we doing it.
Right.
And when they call our card, like I said, now you gotta act good again. It's like, damn, you know. But now I got time to reevaluate things, and things may get better. And you know, and that's what I say. You know, I wanted to say this especially for the holidays. People saying, you know, he suffered from anxiety, which ain't a whole lot different from depression. I don't know a lot about anxiety other than mine. My depression is every day. And I tell people who are depressed, they may be depressed for moments at a time, from thinking about certain events. When you suffer from depression, it never goes away. It never goes away.
Right.
Some days you're just better at keeping it on 6 than you are at 9, but it's there. I can remember being depressed, you know, a death in the family. Those come and they go. Everybody has those, but
Right.
depression is a whole lifestyle. It's totally different.
Right.
So D, can
Like I
I
said,
jump in too?
Yes, sir. Jump in.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and say a little something. Let me see. Is there a way for me to? I'm not gonna do that.
I
But,
need a drink anyway. Somebody put onions in my drink.
Okay. And yeah, for some reason you keep freezing up. I think you're the only one who that's happening with. So we'll have to figure that out. But yeah, you freeze up for a couple of seconds. And something that because of what Pete mentioned, that I want to kind of bring this up, because there are so many different types of actual anxiety that people deal with, and you have to deal with it. Like what a lot of people don't know, and it's funny when they hear, just like when people talk about D and his depression. Well, I have social anxiety. I can't stand being in large crowds of people. One is because I'm an empath and I pick up everything that's around me. So, and people are like, well, Roy, you work at basketball and football games where these thousands of people are. They're like, you know, you go out and do these events. You get on stage and you're in front of all these people. I say, but that's work. I can deal with that when I'm working because I'm focused in on my work. And it's like I don't even see all those other people. But to do things socially, that's one of the reasons that even in my whole dating process, I don't go out to a lot of large events by myself. People are like, oh, go travel and go do all this stuff by yourself. I'm like, no, see, I can't do that. Because when I get around those people, I'm pulling and hearing everything and feeling everything these people around me are doing, and it's overwhelming. D, I don't know, you remember our boy Calvin, Thorborn Calvin III?
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. He invited me, this was a few years ago, he invited me to go to the jazz festival at the Piedmont Park, right? And so I had never been. I went that year because I want to say Gregory Porter was there, and I'm a huge Gregory Porter fan, so I was like, okay, let me go see it. Now, he's one of these people that gets the tent there the day before and sets up and everything. And you know me. If somebody say an event starts at 1 o'clock, guess what? I'm there at 12:45. So, you know, I'm out there. We're early. It's good. I'm helping him do some things with his dad and all this stuff. And I'm sitting there. I had told him that I had this anxiety thing. He was like, oh, man, come out and it'll be fine and whatnot. So we're sitting there, and in this big area where these people are, it's probably about the size of a football field, you know, with the stadium and everything in it. And at this time, there are probably about 200-300 people splattered all over this big area. So I'm good. Dude, 3 hours later, there are 20,000 people in this space. And there are people next to us, behind us, in front of us. And I'm sitting in the corner of the tent. Like Darren talked about sweating that day, I'm sitting in the corner of the tent, drenched, and just sitting there. He was like, what's wrong? I'm like, dude, I told you, I cannot deal with this many people being around me. And, you know, it's like, look, you talk about somebody who's from South Florida. We be in crowds, man. Growing up, I don't know how many I can't even remember how many parties I'm running from with large groups of people because people are out there shooting. We didn't ask no questions. We just turned into running. And so that's something that's one of the reasons, you know, I'm looking at every time I'm around a large crowd of people, the first thing I'm doing, where are my exit points? How can I get the hell out of this space from around all of these people if I need to? And, you know, it's interesting. Because like I said, people don't understand. And that's only an anxiety for me when I'm around large crowds of people. So, you know, we all got some things. But, yeah, that's look, I'm in the group, too. Did we? Oh, D's still there? Okay.
Oh, I thought he froze up for a bit.
Yeah. What happened? Cause y'all going in and out. Roy finished talking. We thought you froze up for a minute.
Yeah. So that's something on your end. Then apparently that you're freezing and then you're not hearing us. So we'll work that out though. We'll get it squared away.
All right. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to make sure I got that in. These were the two things that was kind of, you know, just at me that you know, we are going through a pandemic and hell, we don't know if we're going up or down or whatever. But a lot of people's finances have changed. Some people weren't affected by it, but a lot of us are spending differently.
Absolutely.
We got to be a lot more empathetic and caring of what's going on as opposed to thinking, even though people going back out now and doing whatever they're doing like everything is normal, it ain't normal for a lot of people. A lot of people are way behind. And
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And you know, doing a kind little gesture for some of them, and you know, like I said, I'm not knocking Pete or people who do customer service. Just understand, some people, you know, they saved up. They've been saving up forever to get this $50. So when Pete bring that tab out and it's 47, all they can leave is $3. And you know, they can want to do it, but they've been because they looking at the menu to make sure they adding up when Pete say something. It's like, that's gonna be this, and that's all they can do. You know, and Pete may have been the greatest server they ever had, but you know, they've been saving 5 or 6 months to get this $50, and it's insensitive to think that, you know, to be mad at them because they couldn't do more, because that's what they needed for their sanity. Because sometimes, and I'm sure everybody can, sometimes you just need to get out the house and be somewhere different to maybe not, but sometimes you just need that break away from everything. Sometimes I can remember being dirt poor and my mom would save up money for us to go out and eat, and I was like, you know, we can't afford this. But sometimes you don't want to be reminded that everything in your life is going to shit, so you save up all them little pennies until you can afford to do something, and then you go out and do it. But you know, you got them $40 in pennies. You know, like I said, when that meal is $38, you know, shit, you can't leave them but a $2 tip. And it's like, oh damn, look at them cheap people. But they doing the best they can with what they got. Now, for the people who out there flossing, you ordering bottles and you going over the top. See, that's a whole different animal. And I'm gonna talk about them on another show. But for the ones who sitting there and Pete telling them they can get the flavor lemonade for $2 or the regular lemonade for $1, and they not, you know, as much as they want that flavor lemonade, they know, I better get this. Which one come with the free refills? Because that's the one I need to get. I don't need to spend no more because I know I'm on a budget. But they can't just say, hey, we ain't got but $25. What can we get? Because they still want to preserve their humanity. They don't want to let everybody, you know what I'm saying? You know what they say? You ain't got to let people know you're poor. You ain't gotta look the part. You ain't even gotta act the part. But sometimes you just want to do stuff to just get you out of that mindset to make you feel like a human. And that's a phrase I hear a lot of times. I just want to feel human again. So they want to do something that regular people do, even though they knew they couldn't afford it. They just wanted that. They wanted that air of normalcy. And for those who got it, normal is a different place, and for those who don't, it's a different place. Like say, where I am in my life now, I'm good. Growing up, I was never this good. Hell, the growing up, the boy me would say the adult me is rich. Uh, just because me and my wife was talking shit. I remember eating mayonnaise sandwiches. I remember, how old are
Oh
you, Pete?
yeah, 49.
Okay,
Yeah, I remember
I
eating those.
I,
I ate
I
plenty of
remember
butter
when this first
sandwiches.
came out. We would walk down the windows and steal ketchup and mustard packs and put them on the bread. Because we had bread, we just didn't have shit to go on it. So we ate a lot of mustard
Right.
and mayonnaise sandwiches. We ate a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
mayonnaise. I mean, because that was all we had.
Oh yeah.
So
Hmm.
anytime, we could save up and get that little dollar burger, we was living high on the hog. But
Yeah.
I stole a shitload of ketchup and mustard from Wendy's back in the day. Just so I could not have to eat dry bread. And now man, I don't even like buttered toast. I need something on it just because I don't like that memory. But and that was what I wanted to do, a show about the customer service, because I just saw people in customer service trying to call people out, and I just don't call people out. You don't know their circumstance either. Just like you can have a bad day, they can, and that was what it was, because the bulk of customer service people are really good at what they do, and they're caring, and they chose it because they like doing it. Some people just like doing stuff for other people.
Hmm.
And for people like Pete and some of the others and other people who in it, you see it in their everyday action. They like making people smile. They like seeing people happy. That's just it helps them. You know, part of my depression that I learned was I didn't mind going over the top for people just to get that smile out of them. That smile helped me more than any words they could ever show me. But to see them smile from you doing something from them, you know, I would tell people, I was telling Trina, I would go places and do things. One of my friends is super rich. He's a millionaire, and it's so cool. I watched him. We hung out one day, and we ended up at a grocery store, and we just sitting there. I'm like, why we here? And Buddy's just picking out women with kids at random, and when they get to the end of the line, he walking up, dropping his American Express, and paying for groceries, and walk off. No pictures, no nothing. Just picking people at random to pay. And pay, I mean, I want to say he probably paid for 10 or 15 people's groceries. It don't matter what they got. That's just what he want to do. But he don't want to get them his name. See, I didn't know. I ain't never know you was doing this kind of stuff. He said, man, I do this every year. I just pick me a
Mm.
grocery store and look for people who I think struggling, and just pay. Once they put everything down and they ring it up, he said, can't do it beforehand because people start trying to get extra stuff. But he just pay. That's money they can save. And I was like, man, that is so cool. So I would
Yeah.
just do little things. I ain't got it like that, but sometimes you just pay for a meal and keep going. So, and that's just that's like I said, that was one of the things I found that made me feel better, especially when I was going through a bad stage. I can do something. I can do something
Yeah.
before I leave. Here's, they ain't gonna know who I am. They're gonna like, man, that old dude, whoever he was, he bought this, he bought that. And like I said, I ain't gonna keep harping on that. It's 7:48. And I don't know what Roy got to do, but I want to thank Pete for coming. Pete,
My
inbox
pleasure,
me your
man.
number, and
Thank
I don't
you.
told you inbox me your number like 400 times. You just keep
I'll
ignoring
do
me.
it
I've been
today.
trying
I'll
to
do it
get
when
you
we
and
get off the
Tasha on
line,
the
man.
show. Tasha
Yeah,
be
my honor, man.
harassing me. Tasha was talking bad about my chicken, so tell Tasha I ain't speaking to her right now. And I got more
Oh,
chickens
she told
because
me
I
to
know
tell
she don't
y'all
eat
hello, by the
eggs.
way.
Yeah, she don't eat eggs, so I ain't talking to her.
Yeah,
But
oh, man.
I got to look because I got your name down for a show I wanted to do with you. That's why I kept saying we need to get together and talk.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Uh,
I got you.
Roy, you want to tell them, or is it still a secret? Some of the things you got planned for my JBN that's coming up.
Yeah, give me a little bit more time. We working a couple of things, so I got some stuff I got to
Okay.
get squared away.
All right. So like I said, I think we got 2 or 3 more shows this year. I'm gonna try to keep them. I ain't gonna do no heavy topics. Like I said, the heaviest topic I'm gonna do is about this depression because I need for y'all
Yeah,
to watch out for your people. But everything
absolutely.
else is gonna just be kind of friendly and easy going because I want y'all to get prepared for the holidays. Uh, I'ma still get on y'all. 2022 is coming up. If you ain't got
Yep.
life insurance, you need to get it. If you ain't
Yep.
got renter's insurance, you need to get it. It ain't something you should want to do. Get it done. It ain't that expensive. I promise you. And it's worth the extra little dollars. Give up a drink. Give up a
Yep.
It'll show about life insurance. You don't have to get $1 million policy.
Yep.
I had 5 agents on here who said you could get a $20,000 policy for less than 150. For less than $15 a month. Get something. Get something. Get something. Cause I hate GoFundMe pages. I hate them. I hate them.
Oh,
I hate
man.
them. I hate them. I will always hate them.
Yeah.
Because it that's one of them things that I know ain't that expensive. It's just not.
Yep.
If you got a bank account, your bank offer one for probably $5 or $6 a month for $20,000 or 10, whatever, because they send little things out every year where your bank or credit union give you life insurance. Just get one. And before I go, I'm gonna tell the story that one of the agents told again. She got this lady to get insurance. She told her, put your child on there as a rider. It's going to cost you another, 75 cents. The lady was like, nah, I'm good. She ended up having a wreck on Tar Boulevard. Her daughter died. She didn't have the money to pay for her daughter's funeral.
Wow.
We don't want to think about nothing bad happening to kids. We don't want to think about nothing bad happening to nobody. But just go on and do it. It's one of them things that you hope like hell you'll never need, like car insurance. But when you need it, it's there. So, just do it. It's one of the things that we as a group, as a race, we got to do better. We got to prepare for the future. And the best way we can prepare for our future is to make sure our future don't end up broke. I mean, life is kind of simple on that one. Pete, are you still doing the show, or did you just do a couple of lives? Did I lose you?
Did we lose Pete? I'm here. Did we lose Pete?
Okay.
Looks like he may have. Yeah, we may have lost him.
Okay. Does he have a show?
He's not on the network anymore, but I do believe he's doing something actually in Mississippi with another young lady friend of mine who was on there, Tamika Blessings. So I'm trying to see if he's going to pop back in. It doesn't look like he's completely gone, but yeah, they have they're doing a local. They're actually doing a local network there in the Mississippi area. So they're doing some stuff, but yeah, I don't know the exact name of it. Yeah, I was hoping he was going to still be on to say it, but yeah, it looked like we may have lost him.
All right, well, y'all know what it is. It's 7:52. I'm gonna let Roy. We're gonna call it early night. So, y'all know what it is. I appreciate y'all spending time with me. Like the page, share the page. Get your friends to come like the page. This is how you can help promote me for the free. Download the MyJBN app. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it at any of your app stores. Is that right, Roy?
Yes, the Apple App Store and the Google Play App Store.
So
and you can go back and see old episodes of the show going back years and years.
I think I may be lying. I'm gonna see if I can get Pete back next week. Maybe me, Pete, and Roy. Maybe I'll grab me a woman or two. Maybe we'll talk about preps and priors so we can get ready for the next year, so we don't go into next year making same relationship mistakes. But again, until next week, y'all know it is Peace Popcorn and Chicken Grease. I will see y'all in 6 days and 22 hours and some change. Until then, holla.